Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another East versus West 17 pre-event interview. I'm your host, Ryan Turner, and I have the privilege today of sitting down with another one of our elite athletes. Very exciting, Jocelyne, Brisson. How are you? Welcome to Texas.
Good, thank you.
You are making quite a splash. Everyone I talk to about your match with Sarah doesn't know where it's going to go, which is shocking because it's Sarah we're talking about here. You have been on a tear, and we're going to get into your training, everything you've been doing, how you're feeling for your match. Lot to get to, but first, if you haven't yet, to everyone watching, make sure you check out the pay-per-view link in the description. The event is this Saturday, where you'll get to watch her pull, along with the headline matchup, John Brisson versus Yoshi Kanai. Again, link will be in the description. Also, we're giving away a signed strap from Jocelyne, and it will go to a lucky commenter who likes, shares, subscribe, and of course leaves a comment on the video. So do all those and you can find yourself with a shiny new strap, our way of giving back a bit to everyone who engages with the content. Thank you all very much. We see all the comments and appreciate them. With that, let's get into things. Very interesting. Let's paint the picture here. You turned all the heads when you beat Sarah 10 months ago, roughly?
Roughly, yeah.
Can you tell us the story there? How did that come about? What was the event? How did that happen?
So it was the ladies round robin that was originally set up for kind of the top female pullers of North America. And I think we had 3 or 4 of the top ladies in North America that showed up there that day. Really, the only person I had my sights set on that day was Sarah. And I had to really get out of my own head and take the name away from the person and just see them as just another puller coming to the table for the round robin. Obviously, my facial expression that day when I actually pinned Sarah was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah, but you gotta stay cool.
Stay cool.
Yeah.
But it went exactly as I wanted. And the first one ended on a foul on her part. And then the second one was a pin and a hook, which is kind of not very common for women's matches, I would say, because we don't usually end in hooks.
Was that your idea, hers? Was it a mutual? We found each other?
She hit me in the right spot where it was just comfortable for a hook.
Yeah, because I've also seen you top roll, right?
Predominantly I'm a top roller. Yeah. But that day it was
in the hook.
All hook.
Okay. You also said something a little scary. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you weren't even really training specifically for arm wrestling at that point.
No.
Let me reiterate. You were not training specifically for arm wrestling when you got a win on Sarah Bäckman. No. That's incredible. You had been arm wrestling a bit, but not really focusing on it, right?
No, like I predominantly strength train in the gym, right? Like I come from a strongman background and then a little bit of, I hesitate to say powerlifting because I love benching and not
the other, those other things, whatever. Benching is where it's at, right?
Exactly.
Chest day every day.
Every day, yeah. And
on that note, you tell everybody what you bench because I know the number, but I want them to hear it from you because they wouldn't believe me. What's your max bench?
So my max bench I hit back in April of last year was 315 pounds for 1 rep.
315-pound bench press. Do you think that carries over into arm wrestling?
Yes.
That's helped you a lot?
Yeah.
Okay. And so when did you first arm wrestle on a professional table? Not in a match. Just when did you first get your elbow on an actual pad?
So I started practicing with a team back in 2019, very like the tail end of that. Yeah. My first tournament was in February of 2020. Okay. Before everything went sideways.
Yeah. That's a curveball and thing. You can't do much arm wrestling training in those 2020 days.
No.
Okay. So you had some experience under your belt. It's not like you just found a tournament and beat Sarah.
No.
You had been training. Okay. Fair
enough. I mean, it was an invitational, to be fair. Yeah. So they had originally asked me to be part of it, and I said no. And then there's something that happened where my schedule changed, and I was able to go to the invitational. So.
Yeah. Awesome. I want to ask you, a lot of women might look at this sport and see you practice. A lot of guys grunting, sweaty, may not smell that great. What advice would you have to women looking to get into this sport who may kind of be a little bit hesitant, given that it is predominantly a male sport for now? We're trying to change that here, but do you have any advice to help grow the female side of the sport?
Find somebody you trust. Yeah. Because even as a woman who I mean, I'm no slouch on the table. I still hesitate to get on the table with certain people, especially men, because they will see it immediately as I have to beat this person because she's a woman, and just the ego is all in there. So the biggest thing is to find people you can trust to pull with you and pull safely and teach you, versus always trying to dominate on the table.
Okay, that's good advice. Really good advice. So Sarah, I spoke with her earlier today. She thinks it's payback time.
Okay.
She's like, this has been a long time coming. This is going to be my revenge match. And she thinks she's got this. She's saying she's stronger than she's been in a very long time. I assume, given that you're relatively new to the sport, this is also the strongest you've ever been, especially because you just started really focusing on training for arm wrestling.
Yeah.
So how much stronger are you today than you were back when you pulled Sarah 10 months ago?
If we're looking at arm wrestling specific, I started training arm wrestling specific in June of last year. Like I told Engin, I think I probably have about a 30% gain in arm wrestling specific training.
30? Okay.
Yeah.
So Sarah
So
hasn't
it's
worked.
leaps and bounds,
Yeah.
right? But that's because my base was already minimal when I started. And so obviously the progress is going to be a lot, I'm not going to say a lot bigger than Sarah's, but you know, it's up there.
Yeah.
Like she has progressed. I'm not saying she hasn't, but she can't think that I was just sitting on my laurels and not doing anything either.
Yeah, no, you've been working hard.
Yeah.
This is going to be so much fun on Saturday. Where do you see the match going? Where do you want the match going? Like you said, you can hook, you can top roll. Do you think, you don't have to give any spoilers, but do you think it'll end up outside?
I do.
You do?
Yeah. Because in after pulls, and I've not hidden this from anybody, right? In the after pulls, last year my setup was a lot different than what I do now. I used to grip very low. Coach has told me, don't do that.
Yeah.
So anyways, I do expect it to end up in a top roll.
Okay. But if it's in a hook,
If it's in a hook,
clearly,
I'm ready there too.
yeah, clearly that's okay. This is your first time at East versus West.
Yes.
This is the biggest stage. I don't know if you've seen the venue, but I mean that literally and figuratively. Have the nerves caught up to you at all? Do you feel the weight of being here? A lot of people would love to be in your shoes at the biggest event. You've earned your spot here. Yeah. Is it starting to get a little real? Are you nervous? Are you excited? How do you handle the pressure of the event?
I think it's a mixture of everything. I think anybody who comes in here and says I'm not nervous is lying.
Yeah.
So it's nerve-wracking. There's anxiety, obviously. Many people think I don't deserve to be here, and that's, their opinion.
Sure.
But I do not take for granted that this is the biggest stage, and I have gotten here within 5 years of the sport, starting it, which is pretty amazing. I'm just trying to breathe and ground and not get into my head too much, because I think we lose more than anything else when we get into our own heads.
Yeah. Yeah, you can sabotage yourself just in your own mind. I feel like we don't talk about the mental side of this enough, right? Everyone's talking about the physicality, but if you're not in the right headspace, when they call your name to the table, I've been there in tournaments, you'll miss the go. You're like, oh, I meant to do this. I didn't set up how I planned to. Yes. So there's a very big mental side to this. Where do you think your ceiling is? Obviously, extremely strong, relatively new. Mm-hmm. Do you see yourself one day being at the top of the charts here, beating all the big names, dominating the class? Or you just kind of, hey, this is a fun thing I like to do on the weekend. Barbara, Gabby, are they next after Sarah? Where's your...
My goal is to climb the ladder, slowly but surely. I don't believe in taking the biggest chunk or the biggest leap at the biggest person first. With me, a lot of people have been calling for the Gabby match, right? Yeah. I'm not saying I don't want to pull Gabby. I do want to pull Gabby. But I also want to go through the steps of pulling Egla first, right? See where I'm at with Egla. See where I'm at with Sarah. We'll start even right there, right? Because yes, I beat her, and everybody's going to say it was only one round. Fair enough. Okay, we're going to see where this super match goes. But, I truly believe that you take bigger leaps, you have literally no idea where you're going to fall. Yeah. Whereas if you build through the steps, then you know exactly where you need to build.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's a smart way of going about it. Back to Sarah, where do you think her biggest strengths are? What are you concerned about from her? Are you worried about her hand if she goes outside on you? Where do you think her winning lane is, or does she not have one in your mind?
I think she has the patience.
Yeah.
Right, where I might be a little bit less patient.
Is that an experience thing?
It is an experience thing where I just want the match to be as over as quickly as possible, right? Whereas people have been pulling a long time are not scared to do what has to be done to hold it in the center until they can get what they need.
Yeah.
So,
I asked her the same question, and she had the exact same answer. She thinks her experience is an advantage. So we're going to see how that goes. Who do you think has more endurance? If this match gets stopped and you guys are just in a grinder, does that benefit you, or are you trying to get this done? Well, obviously, you're trying to get it done quick and easy, but how do you feel like your endurance is if this really turns into a war?
I think it's going to depend on which position the war happens in.
Sure.
On the outside or in a hook, I think it's going to go my way.
Okay, but if it's top roll and top roll and it's one of those...
It could be, right? It's those micro movements, right? That, obviously she's got a lot of experience under her belt, and I'm not going to discount that.
Yeah, good. Oh, yeah. Do not underestimate Sarah of all people, especially the Sarah I saw today. She looks great. I don't want to make you nervous, but she looks awesome. We just want a great match.
Yeah.
For the record, you look like you're prepared too. You're looking very strong, very fit. So we are very, very excited for Saturday. I do have to ask, this event is headlined by John Brisson versus Yoshi Kanai. Who do you have winning that, and why?
I want to go with John.
Yeah.
Just for kind of like a last hurrah for him. Yeah, that's where I'm going to go with that.
Good. All right. He's starting to edge. At first it was 50-50, but he's starting to pull away for everyone I ask. I want to give you the floor to end it. Do you have a message for Sarah? I promise you she will watch this video. So directly to her, if you will.
Well, Sarah, I hope that you are ready for round 2, and let's give them a show.
Yeah, we're going to get a show, all right. Once again, everybody, the link for the pay-per-view is in the description. You do not want to miss this. You will see Jocelyne. You will see John, Yoshi, Devin, Corey. The list goes on. It is a stacked card. You don't want to miss it, so make sure you check that out. Also, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and you could win a signed strap by Jocelyne. Thank you so much for your time. We can't wait to see you pull on Saturday. See you in the next one, everyone. Take care.